Hello. Hello. Ooh, sorry, I have some Burger King in my throat. I just had it's like a rodeo burger. There's onion rings in it. It's very Texan, I'm a big fan of Texas. Anything Texas, anything that reminds me of cowboys, anything that reminds me of America. Because I still have hope for this godforsaken country. For America, for humans in general. That's what I believe. You still have to have hope. It's the only way you can. You're like, let's get up in the morning. When you get up in the morning, that's hope right there. When you go to the bathroom, that's hope because you're continuing your life cycle. When you turn on the TV, when you turn on your porn, you have hope that you are going to get off. Am I lying? Am I lying? No. You know the truth. Hope is where the heart is. Not home. It's not home is where the heart is. The truth behind the quote is hope is where the heart is, not home. What if you don't have a home? You need to have hope. Wow, I need to trademark that. That was fire. That was fire. I need to tweet that. Sorry, please follow me on Twitter at Lamar. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to reach as many people as possible in this world. Aren't you? We're just trying to connect, just trying to touch. Anyway, let me get to the point. This is I'm trying to intro for this episode with upcoming guest, Rogin Kim. He's cool. He's a comedian in the LA scene. And we're going to be continuing this series that I have that is called The Deep State, okay? Where I go deep, where I go real into what is going on beyond the curtain that is America. You know what I'm saying? What is beyond what's government? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I used to serve in the military. It's true. Sorry. I get really pent up when, it's like I tell the truth and it's like people just don't believe me. I just don't get it, but it's fine. It's whatever. The truth behind, what's going on beyond the curtain, yes, like I said, of the government of America. And this episode, we're going to be digging deep, okay, into where the true location, of the clit. And I'm really excited to, extrapolate about that with Rogin Kim here. I just, it's a fascinating. It's an ongoing kind of debate within society, and I think it's time to put the nipsey in the butt. You know what I'm saying? I think that's how you say it. Yeah, that's how you say it. My assistant, thank you. Thank you. My assistant told me that is. Thank you. I just love having a yes man. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a yes man, then it's like what are you doing? That's boring. The whole point of a yes man is to feel good about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, assistant. Thank you so much for confirming my thought. Okay, I like to stay in a bubble. You know what I'm saying? That's why I never go out of my favorite subreddits. My favorite subreddits are conspiracy, because it's nice to hear what other people are saying about their truth and the truth about the world. And I also love. I was gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. It's too much. I probably get canceled for that. But I mean, there's so much things to cancel me about. It's insane. I did acid with the leader of ISIS when I was stationed overseas. That was a mess. It was a fun time. I didn't ask for it. I just walked right in. It wasn't like I searched for it. You know what I'm saying? These things happen to me. He's actually a great guy. He just has like a weird view of the world, I think. I try to get through to him, but he kicked me out of the interrogation room, and I'll try to reach out to him. We're friends on Twitter. But that's the thing. It's like, where is the clit? And that's what I want to. I sort of want to dig deep into where it is. I want to explain how I know where it is, what it is, and how we move forward as a nation and as a human race with this information. That's what I want to do, and that's what I want to dig. That's what I want to explore here. We're gonna explore. Me and Rogin. We're gonna be Indiana Jones explorers, and that reference is gonna make sense when you actually listen to the interview that's coming up here. I'm kind of nervous. I'm always nervous to just reveal this information because it really is just. It could exile me. Exile. I like how I say that. But it's just, usually America doesn't tell you this. Oh my God, this is also another episode. But America, they exile, terrorists, domestic terrorists, like people, whistleblowers, to the Fire Island in New York City. You know how hard it is to not want to go to Fire Island? If you don't know what Fire Island is, it's like a gay paradise. You know what I'm saying? And I swear, I want to go so bad. But I believe, like I said, I've taken an ethics class, so I know being a bad person is bad. So it's good it's good for our, I'm a utilitarianismist. So I believe we should all be good to each other. Did that sound assistant? Did that sound plausible? Thank you. Okay. She said to work on my delivery. Okay. Thank you. Just go get some alcohol. All right. So yes. Oh, Rogin Kim is here. I'm really excited. Okay. Yes. This is Are We Gone Too Far? The Deep State with Rogin Kim. Let's hit the mic, let's go. I hit the dab high-low. I did it all for love. Sparkly love for you. I did it all for love. Sparkly love for you. For you. Hey! I did it all for love. Love, love, love. Sparkly love for you? For you? Here we go! Shake, shake, dance though. Shake, 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 dance though. Shake, 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 dance though. Oh shit, here we go! Here we go! Here we go! Alright, perfect. Testing. Hello! Hi! I am here with comedian Rogin Kim.
Hello.
Hello. I'm so excited to have you here in the studio here.
Thank you.
How are you feeling today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am nervous. I'm scared because I'm always before I do this. It's always I get nerves underneath my skin because of the information I'm about to give to the world. It's always scary. You know what I'm saying? I have anxiety attacks now.
What are you afraid? Are you afraid of the impact of the information or just carrying the information itself? Like,
ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
I didn't think about that.
Like the Infinity Gauntlet, like one of the stones in the Infinity Gauntlet. You know what I mean? Like it might hurt. You might kill yourself with the truth. You know?
Infinity Gauntlet. That's from it's a DC thing, right?
Sure. No, I mean, really? Marvel? I mean, I don't know. But it's like Marvel, yeah.
Oh, it's
Or do you mean
football.
Washington, D.C.? Are you talking about D.C., the nation's capital?
Yes.
Because, yes, that is
what...
what...
Infinity Gauntlet is in Washington, D.C.
That's what that movie is about. The whole Infinity Gauntlet series is about Washington. It's a metaphor for, the military-industrial complex.
Are you fucking serious?
Look at what Thanos did, right? In the name of good, right? That's what we did in Iraq. We went and murdered 50% of their population in order to bring balance to the world.
I was in the military, so I was a part of that. I feel bad.
No, don't feel bad. I paid for it as a taxpayer, so we're both we have blood on our hands. Yeah, we're a million at least.
All of us.
All of us are. All of us.
God, that's funny.
With all this cheap gas we got, all these fucking iPhones. It's made from the blood of Iraqi children.
Right.
And that's what,
Right. I was saying right.
Oh, yeah. I thought first you said white. And I was like, wait, yes, we singled out all the white ones and murdered them first. Just to get back. For justice.
That's the compensation.
That's what we did. We rounded up all the white Iraqis.
Oh my gosh.
Murdered them, yeah.
Okay, now I need to watch, it's a movie, correct?
Oh,
Avengers?
yeah. You don't have to watch it. You pretty much lived it. You don't need to watch What do you need to watch it for?
Oh, just the research. I thought I had everything here in my notebook.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, sure. You could, you should then just start at Iron Man, the first Iron Man, which is actually about a war criminal, a person who sells arms to the Taliban and then feels bad about it. And so builds the Iron Man suit in order to take back the weapons, as a sort of... So the first Iron Man is really like war guilt over 5 years of war. It's set in Afghanistan. There's a whole part...
Come out? What
2008.
Year?
So there's a whole part where Tony Stark
Yeah.
is shot at by one of his own missiles, and he sees Stark in the shrapnel. He sees Stark Industries.
Okay.
And then that's when he has his, and I think actually, no, this is later. He gets hit with an IED or whatever. That's how he becomes Iron Man. But anyway, though, there's a moral turning point where he sees his own name on the missile, just like in Yemen, how the kids pick up the bomb scraps and it says "Made in USA" on it, even though it's supposedly the Saudis shooting. You know what I mean? It's just like,
like a mind kind of blowing moment.
That was in Hollywood's mind back then. You know what I mean? But then the second Iron Man is actually about how he gave the Iron Man suit to the U.S. military so that it would be in the hands of good, or whatever. You know what I mean? So like, it's actually like a complete reversal of the philosophy. So Iron Man actually was successful because it tapped into the war guilt of the public. You know what I mean? Because by 2008, we were like, it was the end of Bush. Yeah. Everybody's like, the wars are bullshit. Torture. We've been torturing people, murdering people. It's all bullshit. Yeah. And then when Obama came around, everybody's like, we're good. We're good. So fuck it. Set 5 more wars.
Right.
So Marvel... Just as I think, and then, there's a lot to be said about like how much the deep state is involved in all of that. But the trajectory of Marvel has been then to be pro-war. So it starts out as kind of a quasi anti-war movie. Yeah. And then essentially gets co-opted by the military-industrial complex. And basically the culmination is this Infinity War saga, which is literally the plot is where the bad guy wants to kill half of everything alive to restore balance. That's his solution to overpopulation.
Who is Thanos supposed to represent?
In my mind, I think it's us.
America?
Yeah, it's us.
Ooh.
Yeah, because
So he's like, so the snap of his finger is like the coronavirus.
No, that was us, our military-industrial kind. That's basically every time we go somewhere and decide we're doing this for good, right? Yeah. We're going to invade this country for good, and we end up just murdering everybody. That's really what we end up doing, is murdering everybody. Always. And then trying to make money off of it. But it's always in the name of good, right? And so the main character, Thanos, is never evil. He was never like, I'm doing this because I get off and killing people. He was like, he had to kill his own daughter, you know what I mean? Like, to do it. He showed that he was principled, you know what I mean? Like, so that, because I think the Star Wars movies and the Marvel movies, we all think of ourselves as the good guys. We align ourselves with the good guys. We're the rebels, or the heroes fighting this evil or whatever. But if you really look at the stories, it's like in the start, like, we're the Empire. Yeah. Like, we're not the rebels. What are we rebelling against? Yeah. In real life. What is America? Who are we the rebels against?
The Empire, nobody, that's in Star Trek, right?
Yeah. So, it's in all of them. Everything has an empire.
Oh,
yeah. So Star Trek has one. Star Wars has one.
Why is it always an empire?
Rome. We're really still we get off on Rome. Rome was really like, at least from the West. I mean,
my
there
favorite
was a Chinese
porn,
empire, you know.
My favorite porn is Rome.
Roman Empire? Roman porn?
Like the theme, yeah.
Rome porn. Yeah. So, you mean like orgies, Roman orgies and shit, and they all have togas,
the setting and
or just setting. Fucking in Rome, like at the Colosseum or something like. Like you mean like
Colosseum, Leaning Tower of Pisa.
So all of those places you love it. So it doesn't even have to be set in ancient Rome. It's just the city of Rome. You like porn, just regular Italian porn in Rome. Is what you mean? Okay, pretty much. It's very sophisticated of you.
Thank you. Yeah. I try to be an intellectual in this world.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go down that rabbit hole.
Oh, I don't know what you. Yeah, go ahead, please. I'm sorry. You had some hot information you wanted to drop on the public. I'm sorry, I stepped on that.
No,
please
I'm
tell
down
us.
to go.
I want to know
scared.
what this. I don't want
nervous.
your soul to wither away from the heat of this knowledge. Whatever this knowledge is, I think you should just here. I'll get that. We should. You should drop it. You should drop it on the people. The people. This is like Promethean fire. Do you know what would happen if Prometheus decided not to give the fire to the people? They'd still be cold in caves. You know what I mean? Like we would. So
you're right. Oh my God.
Yeah. Why would you do that to the
people? So inspirational. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. So I'm Prometheus.
Mm-hmm.
So we know about the deep state, who they are. It's like, I guess, like the people in power. It's like they control all the parties, right? Well, here's the thing. What they don't want people to know is that the clit, it's not on a woman's body, it's in Brazil.
The clit.
Yes. How do you feel about this reveal of information?
I mean, this is a lot of heavy stuff you're laying on me here.
Do you have any questions?
Well, I mean, I guess, but I'm just trying to. I can understand why you were so afraid. First of all, I can see. So, are you saying what you're saying is that the physical body part, the clitoris, is not located on any female human, but is actually in Brazil?
Yes.
Located where in Brazil? It's a very large country.
I can't wait. I'm still waiting on a response.
Okay, so it could be in the jungle. For all you know, it's like in the Amazon.
I will say it is in the jungle.
Okay, the clit is in the jungle.
Yes, it's okay, so how I would know this information is because I was on leave there in Brazil, and I met this guy, and he just wanted to hang out. It's whatever. I met him on Grindr, and he asked me if I wanted to go see something, and I was like, sure, let's go on an adventure. His name was Indiana Jones. He was a little pudgy. He wasn't British though. Indiana Jones is British, and he took me on this journey, and it's like a token. It's kind of heavy, actually. The clit.
You held it in your hand?
I did.
Was it in like a temple?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
So did you have to have like an equally heavy bag of sand and replace the clit to like try to not set off traps?
Yes, it's all booby traps.
Did you set off traps though?
Did I set up traps?
Yeah, did you set off traps when you picked up the clit?
I did. Yeah, Whoa. It was like in that documentary, The Temple of Doom.
So you'd like darts and shit, or the big rolling
and the big rolling rock.
So the rock.
But it's like two balls.
Right, two balls representing testicles.
I think so. I don't know.
The clitoris or ovaries? Maybe they were ovaries. Maybe the entire temple is shaped like fallopian tubes and a uterus, and you're at the bottom. You grabbed the clit, and then the ovaries were coming to get you.
Yes.
And then what'd you do? You just left the clit there, or would you?
No, he wanted me to give it to him. I gave it to him for free. I was like, that was fun. It was like a little ride.
The clit. So only one man in Brazil now has ownership of the clit.
Ugh. Yeah.
I mean, it just seems contrary. It's ironic that you dropped this on the people as a form of Promethean fire, but when you actually held the fire in your hand yourself, you ended up giving it just to one guy and not to humanity, which I guess. I mean, is that because were you trying to get laid or something? Were you trying to fuck?
Well, I was, and we
just sacrificed all of humanity just to fuck one guy.
I did.
Right. Well, that's fine. Okay, so then but you know what? You're just a man. It's not fair to lay.
Thank you.
Godhood on you, like you should act like Jesus Christ and sacrifice yourself for all of humanity. I mean,
I didn't know it was going to be real. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I understand maybe this is like almost an act of guilt or absolution. You're trying to absolve yourself of your crime of withholding the clit from humanity by now dropping other news onto people so as to not be so.
Yes.
So I mean, I feel like I can sense a deep pain pain
from
you, and I think it's because of your inherent selfishness, and I think so. At some point you realize that
I have to work on that,
and that's what you're doing.
This is what this is.
This is your penance. You have dedicated yourself to bringing people the truth when you one time withheld it, and you've been suffering ever since. It's very obvious.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you a therapist?
I can be if given enough money. It just depends on the scale of what you want to pay me for. That's basically all we could do. It's, this is a time where the paradigms are all shifting.
They are. It's all topsy-turvy. I'm like, I did, this is the second episode in the Deep State series. And, I was telling Josh, I feel like he was saying that America's not going to be the same after, when we come back from this.
What's this? From the coronavirus pandemic?
I said it's we're like a proxy country right now because it's like.
And who's Josh who?
Josh Edelman.
So Josh Edelman said, we will never go back to normal from this. This meaning the pandemic,
or maybe the previous. I think the previous kind of life that we were all living before the pandemic.
So we'll never get back to February.
Yeah,
is that what Josh Edelman said?
Yeah. What do you think? How do you counter? Do you agree?
I think that's like saying it will definitely be next year. You know what I mean? It's not a very. Like nothing's ever the same ever.
True.
Can things ever? It's kind of like a meaningless sentiment. If you understand my meaning, that I'm trying to have a meaning. See what I just said there? I'm trying to imbue with meaning by stating what he said was meaningless. Because,
interesting.
Listen, nothing is ever the same after you went to the Air Force. You know what I mean? Nothing is ever the same after we invaded Iraq. Nothing is ever the same after we have, according to chaos theory, by doing this, nothing's ever the same. I might have just murdered 10 people just doing that. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, see? So I just keep doing it. That's what Thanos was doing, snap into. But I have to do it 10 at a time. It's going to take me forever. I have to join if I can do up there. And be like, trying to genocide a bunch of people today. But you know what I mean? Nothing will ever be the same. It's just duh. That's just life.
Good point.
And honestly, there's probably, it's a kind of a privileged position to have if you really think about it. I'm just going there. That's funny. That's funny. Because this is what I like to do. I used to do this at open mics, but now it's even more applicable because what I like to do is I like to take what the people are saying. Usually open mics is 90% just grievances being aired by people.
Basically,
they don't have therapy.
Yeah.
So I would love to just take these people, just even take what Josh said and take them to let's say a Syrian refugee, and that's so come on, 2015. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's so what are these refugees? Have they gotten fucking jobs or what? But if I brought Josh Edelman over to a Syrian refugee family, let's say a couple kids who saw their parents get murdered before their eyes and now have had to perhaps prostitute themselves to live or whatever. Yeah. And then Josh Edelman says, nothing will ever be the same after this. And they'll be like, what's this? After fucking 10 guys to survive? What's this? When my parents were murdered or after that? You're talking about your life or mine? You know what I mean? So that's just this idea that what we're going through is it's actually not that bad what we're going through.
True. I've told people the Black Plague.
Yeah. Read about the plague. Literally read about anything we do. We're in 7 countries. I'm going to keep harping on the war because I feel like
please do.
But there are 7 countries we're at war in. We exercise air power in 7 countries. And,
wild.
To me, I feel like that's war, right? Because if a plane flew over LA and bombed a building, we'd be like, that's war, right? That's war. So we're in 7 fucking countries, right? So it's it's crazy. I think that's part of why we have all this cancel culture. We have all this stuff where it's we fetishize victimization. We fetishize it.
Is it Americans we do?
Yeah. America, because there's a contest going on to see who's the most oppressed, right? And even I saw black people and indigenous people fighting it out, being
oh my god,
black people being indigenous people own slaves, and indigenous people, but there's none of us left, and they're fighting each other, right? And even the term POC, people of color, they've now granularly made it BIPOC, which is Black and Indigenous People of Color, which pretty much that's what they've done.
I thought it was bisexual people of color.
I wished it was, but that would be way cooler and more inclusive. Yeah. But Black Indigenous People of Color just means no Asians.
Oh my gosh, I always noticed that
because it means they're trying to create a totem pole of who's on top. And now the BIs are fighting it out to see who's on top. And that's ridiculous because all that does is like there's no movement.
More division.
There's no movement. Yeah, essentially you've taken people who could be quote unquote allies and now turn them all into enemies.
It's fucked up.
So anyways, that's the reason I think our culture is doing that is because deep down, subconsciously, we recognize we are perpetrators around the world. Like to Yemen, like we're not a victim. America is not seen as the victim. No. Any victim story from, if you came to a Yemeni mother whose child died because of our sanctions and whose brothers just got hit in a drone strike accidentally, and then you were like, did you know that Black trans women are being murdered in this street? You know what I mean? Like, did you be like, what the fuck are you, like, look at my skeleton baby. Look at my baby. It's a skeleton. I can't decide if I should feed it to the other babies, or what. These are the choices I have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Josh, and then Josh Edelman being, nothing will ever be the same. No, they're not. She would be like, are you paying taxes? Because your taxes are going to all this. You see this piece of shrapnel I found that said made in the USA?
Oh my gosh.
Your taxpayer.
Do you pay your taxes?
Yeah, I pay taxes, but we pay taxes no matter what. Like everything we buy has tax. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything.
You're
and
right.
Plus the fact that every time they print money, that's just future money they're taking from. You know what I mean? No matter what, we're on the hook for everything that the government does. So,
are you? What would you say is your political leaning?
I don't know. I don't know if there's such a thing. I think agnostic, maybe, or like. I was a political science major.
Oh,
so I was super into politics for a while. But you just realize after a while that like the team thing is what takes over.
Yeah.
The team mentality takes over, and then it just doesn't seem to actually matter.
Yeah, I think so too. It's all more division games.
Yeah, divide and conquer. That's all. It's just another thing that got co-opted by both the corporations and governments for marketing purposes, and then to actually prevent change, and that's what I think, all this shit, that's all
deep state,
our country, all of our entire country is a marketing country. You know what I mean? Just starting from like, freedom for all and all that stuff. That's all great marketing. That at least we tried to work toward, but it makes sense why Trump is the president. He's a fucking marketer. You know what I mean? Yeah. It makes sense why a marketer is president. It makes sense why all news is marketing now. Everything's directed to fear.
He said he
tried
to. I guess he was too late or something. He was too late.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you really think that any of that is real? That's what I'm saying.
I did.
Right, but that's marketing, right? Marketing are really good lies to get you to believe something is real so that you feel good getting it, like whatever it is.
I was going to vote for Kanye.
Of course, you would have felt great doing it. Yeah,
I would have felt amazing.
And that was all part of it. But meanwhile, he got a little bump in his number. He got a little engagement.
I listened to his like whole discography just to prepare for the.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he got a bump in sales. Because they have all these algorithms. I bet he even has a data mining company that told him if you came out and put out a tweet that said you're going to run for president, you're going to get a huge bump in numbers. I bet there are companies, that's what it's all about right now.
Oh my God.
All that information, all that. What do you think they're doing with it? You know what I mean? The rich are using all
just to get richer.
Of course. And to predict behavior.
That's
consumer
scary.
Behavior. Yeah. And that's literally, and to me, that's why I prefer if there was actual evil. Like, I would actually be more comforted by that because at least they have an ethos. You know what I'm saying? At least they have something they're working toward.
Yeah.
Like, this is just nothingness. This is money. It's just money for the sake of money. Like, even war. All of it. War, healthcare, all of our problems. The reason we have problems is because everybody's trying to make a buck off of it. And that nobody sees that as bad.
Okay. Well, okay, so with that, with the whole, like, it's not evilness. But what about, like, the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing?
What about it?
That seems pretty evil.
Oh, it depends who you are, right? I mean, if you're Les Wexner or whoever, you're like, this is awesome. This is the best thing I've done, guys. I created Victoria's Secrets. I get these young girls in, then they become model. I mean, it's a fucking factory. Are you kidding me? Like, no. I mean, nobody on Earth, honestly, I don't think anybody really believes they're evil. At least somebody
true,
I believe functioning. That. I think maybe if you're like kind of I don't know, maybe you have something wrong with you and you're like, I'm evil. But I don't think those people get far because they get sniffed out real fast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I took an ethics class last semester, and I learned that bad people are bad. So I was like, I can't do that. So I'm a good person now.
Good for you.
I didn't make that decision until that ethics class.
I mean, how does it feel to be on the side of the good?
It feels weird, honestly.
Really?
A little boring.
Oh.
But, I think it's good for society.
But don't you feel better when you can point out someone who's worse than you and say, like, I'm good, but you're not? Isn't that?
I do. I think it's that American conditioning.
Yeah.
I did. I would like that.
Well, I highly recommend you do. I don't think it's just American. It's very religious, right? It's like you're one of the saved or one of the sinners. And so it feels great to be saved and to tell sinners that they're going to hell. It feels great.
There's always that like contrast of like there has to be an other or something.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really us them, and it's an us them thing. But religion hijacked it so that you could feel like your soul will be saved. They're going to hell. And then it kind of tweaked it even more where you could be like, you know what? I can save you. You just repent. Just repent your sins. And now that idea has been taken over by sort of this whole white fragility kind of like race movement of like repent your sin, white, repent your whiteness. And then some white people are dumb enough to be like, yeah, I repent, like because they're held hostage by their emotions, they don't know what the fuck to do, so they're like, is this what I do, but really it's just a way to make people who would just don't want to be, just don't be mad at me, just like, please don't be mad at me, and then just manipulating them because they have that, it's kind of like what you could do in the schoolyard when you pick on bully. The way you pick on a kid, you can get them to do all kinds of shit because you're like, they want them to like you, so
that's a good point. I was in middle school and I wouldn't say he was a bully, but I guess it was kind of like I was still in the closet or whatever, and I had a guy, he was like, Mitchell, go date this girl I know. Oh my God, he was pimping out her.
Wow. Did you have to pay money?
No, it was just like, it was kind of like you got to date her or you are gay or blah, blah, blah.
Wait. Did they know you were gay or think you were gay? And so it was like to prove you weren't gay?
It was to prove.
It was to prove you weren't gay. Oh, okay.
So I dated this girl. It was like 2 days. And then I kissed her. And I felt bad.
And you were like, I'm gay, dude.
We didn't talk after that. We broke up or whatever. Right. I think there was a fight. It was...
Man, he forced you into a bad relationship just to make you prove it was some kind of game of hetero chicken where you're like,
so.
Are you going to go through with it?
Yeah.
Is he going to go through with it? But that's like all throughout history, gay dudes had to go through with it just to be like, I'm not gay, and then secretly be gay. Or they have families and shit, and then secretly be gay.
Or they get prosecuted, or is that the word?
Prostituted, I think. What you're talking about?
Basically,
yeah.
She was prostituted. I remember her name.
I bet that guy was gay and was like hoping that you were gonna be like, I'm gay, and then was like, fuck.
Yeah,
he's like, straight. He's fucking straight. God damn. I swear to God, I thought he would fucking. God damn it.
It is crazy. Like me and that kid, I guess we went to the same church.
Nice.
Yeah,
I said match made in heaven.
Right.
Church boys. Come on, you're a couple of church boys. Well, but see that there's that whole thing of like, it's a cliche now of like dudes who are super homophobic or like obsessed with gay shit. It's like they're probably gay. You know what I mean? It's pretty cliche. And I feel like that's the same with us and our victim obsession. We're like obsessed with the victim, about people being persecuted, but it's because we're actually the persecutors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so there's a saying, you are what you accuse others of, right? Like, and we're just
what do you accuse other people of, Rogin?
I guess I don't know, obliviousness, hypocrisy. That's what I am. I mean,
I'm a hypocrite.
We're all hypocrites. I
mean, we're complex creatures of this earth.
Right. Well, I do think that is my. I don't know, maybe my biggest pet peeve, and I do recognize it's because it's what I hate about myself or wouldn't like about myself, but especially weakness of character, especially in men. I don't know why, but that's just like a thing where I just have disdain. I just like, come on, really?
Yeah.
It's like, well, because it's like, all right, it's bad enough that, all right, let's say there's a double standard and women get away with something. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. But then for a man to get on board, I'm just like, come on, really? You want this too? Like, I just have, but it's funny because like some women, like my girl, like she is the opposite, where she has disdain for women who act that way, and is more lenient toward men, or is more empathetic toward men. So, it could be some of that. It could be some of But I'm sure you've seen it in the military. Like you're just like, come on, man. Like or not only that, where you're just like, I'm going through this, and this dude's just like some weak bitch, and you're just like, really, man? Like you're just, and you just feel like, and I think that's like it's probably like a really primal, like a hunting type thing.
Okay.
Because imagine you're in a hunting group, and then and it's tough. It's not easy. Maybe you fucking missed a shot or didn't get that thing you were stalking for days, and now you're gonna be hungry. And then one of the dudes just starts breaking down crying.
Yeah,
like, this is too hot, and there's like, you're just like, it gets so uncomfortable because you're like, just dude, we all want to cry.
Okay.
But is that what we should do now? Just all cry?
We can't.
You know what I mean? Like we need to shut the fuck up and go find that thing. Like, that's the only way to survive.
Maybe we should all cry.
But then we would have just died starving.
Good point.
We would have had a bunch of.
You're right.
That's all we were good for. What are men good for? We're not actually that good at crying.
Nothing. That's a song.
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah. Like, I mean, the women should be the ones to cry and tell us that, at least back then in the hunter-gatherer times. Because if the men start crying and then there's no meat, they're not going to fuck us. The whole drive of this is that the women were fucking us for the meat. Like, that's the only reason this is all happening. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other. That's what men are good for. Got to kill something.
And then the men give the babies.
You get the babies, but we don't really stick around back then. You know what I mean? We didn't even know. I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's a lot of evidence for this, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of matrilineal societies in the hunter-gatherer times, and that's mostly because the women knew it was their baby, but no one really knew who the men. You know what I mean? And men didn't own thing. They were just they were fighters, they were laborers. And sometimes they would be like people in society or whatever. But in terms of family line, that was your mom. You could stretch that through the moms. So, you could see how that men actually, where it was like that was Jamaica.
They were matrilineal?
Yeah, even though not like they didn't give their names, but culturally, the way the society was, it was like the women, the heads of family were obviously the women. And they were strong and they were super competent. Yeah. Doing like a million different things at the same time. And the men were essentially like, kind of like just wanted to kick it. But were sort of ordered around by the women. Ooh. But then essentially a lot of the conflicts would be resolved through the men from the women. Like the women would be like, fuck that guy, so-and-so, or fuck her, or whatever. And then the men would be like, all right, I guess we'll do it. But overall, it was a lot of male security guards, a lot of male laborers, a lot of male, and I'm sure the rich men and whatever, they're all men or whatever, but just on the bottom, it just looked like it was like really strong. It's just strong women, and dudes are just like
lazy fucks.
Sure, but all dudes are in a way, you know what I mean? Sure. Unless they're motivated by something. Yeah. Usually a woman, who cares about something. I'm pretty sure war is a female invention. Like, I'm pretty sure.
That's funny.
I'm pretty sure it is, because I don't think men can take it. I think they need help to take it that far. Like, men will skirmish, throw down, but then as soon as they throw down, they'll be friends. And that's not conducive to war.
That's right.
But what if you really hate this bitch? And you're like, these dudes keep making friends when they find it's like, no, we need to murder every single one. Yeah. Every single one has to be murdered. And the dudes are like, oh, okay, honey. All right, honey. I guess. Hey, guys, she says we got to murder them all.
That's wild.
They're like, seriously? I'm like, yeah. Yeah. And then once you get the women all united in that, then it's over.
It's over. Like,
done. We have to genocide that tribe. We have to kill all of them.
Women. Have you read Lysistrata?
I don't know. I know the story about they stopped fucking the men because of the war, and
it just reminds me of that, where they have the women have the power.
Right. That's the thing about what's going on with all this sort of the feminism and all of that, of women being like, we don't have power, but there is not inherently acknowledging the different types of power there are. Actually, I just don't believe it. Did you know that all this stuff's French, man? Did you know this is all French philosophy? This whole idea of power is what dictates why society is the way it is, and
sounds like Foucault
it's Foucault, and then this other dude nailed it. Look at him. He reads books.
My YouTube polls are going. They're Prometheus, doing right.
Yeah, but it's Foucault, and it goes Simone de Beauvoir, whatever the feminist lady. She was it's all about power. That's where patriarchy, this idea of everything's patriarchy and we have to dismantle it, or it's getting to the point where now even science and reason and even math is part of the white power structure and must be dismantled.
What?
That's literally what I mean, it's not even a joke. That's actually what people are saying. They're like, yeah, 2 + 2 = 4 is correct in a Western context. But
Shut up.
I'm serious. But surely in an indigenous context, maybe there's another way. That's what's happening.
Oh, like they count differently, right?
Yeah. Like they count different. Like this is the white man's counting. These are the white man's numbers when they're Arabic Hindu numbers, but like these are the white man's numbers and the white man's math and the white man's, and it's just like it's retarded because you're like, no, everybody's using these. Like,
oh my god!
Do you not understand history of math? Like, doesn't come from white people. Doesn't even make sense. It's actually an inherently racist argument to make.
Yeah.
To say that this is all white supremacy. It's like, no, it's not. But that's where people are because they're so obsessed with power structures. Because otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Otherwise, to them, they're like, wait, do you mean that it's not all power?
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, yeah, it's not all power. It might actually be. But that's seen as a dangerous sentiment to say that it isn't some kind of power dynamic that's leading to the way things are. It might actually have something to do with competence sometimes. To say that is like you're a fucking Nazi. Like you're a Nazi. You can't say that.
This all leads back to the story, the information I revealed
about the clit. Yeah.
Yes, it's like because it's not on the woman. And then the man doesn't know. It's
right.
like
but they're making this huge deal about it like it is. They're like, well, why can't you find it? Why can't you find it? And this whole time it's not even there. But do they even know that? Here's the question. Do the women know that? Do they know the clit is in Brazil? Do they know that are they all fooled?
They're fooled because everyone thinks that it's on the body, but it's not.
Right.
So what is that body part? I don't know. I'm gay, so.
Right. But so it's kind of like equality, right? It's this thing that they say that they demand from men to give them. But it doesn't even actually exist. It's actually some dude has it because some gay guy gave it away. That's really what happened here.
That's great. You know what? That's a good, fun endpoint to.
Are we ending this? All right. Sure, yeah. Let's end down.
Rogin, how can people find you?
Well, I mean, really, they can't. You can't find me. Nobody knows who I am. But if you want to look me up, RoginKim.com. You can go to my website. I have a podcast called the Rogin Kim Cast.
Yeah.
Find that on my website or wherever you get podcasts. On Instagram, Twitter, Rogin Kim. It's all under ROGIN. KIM. So, yeah. Thank you so much. This was a great and eye-opening conversation.
I'm glad it was very informative.
Well, I hope you had a good time.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't waste your time.
No.
I hope this wasn't. Yeah.
I'm scared to put it out because obviously the damning information in this
conversation.
But yes, I have to do it.
Okay. Well, I hope there's a world left for you to bring it out into. You know what I mean?
Yes.
What a waste. What a waste it would be if everybody was dead and you were like, here you go, guy.
Right.
It'd be a real Twilight Zone like ending to your
podcast. Oh my gosh,
podcast.
that's like the first episode of that show. I think it's one of the first.
With the new one?
No, like the old.
The one about the books. The one about
and he breaks his glasses.
Yeah, he's like all the time in the world, and he breaks his glasses and like yeah.
That sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like how blind I feel like you could like get the books like right up to his face, right? Couldn't you do that?
Was he nearsighted?
That was never. He just had one pair. He had reading glasses, so clearly it was. So you know what I mean? I just feel like he could have. He's kind of. I mean, he kind of just gave up there. You know what I mean? It's kind of, that's what I mean by weak men. Of little character. Like, see, that guy should have just been like. She's been like, fucking, I could just make fine glasses. There's
probably
there's gotta be an optometrist, even though it's like the 50s or whatever. Come on, they had, he could have figured something out.
I think Benjamin Franklin, he lived in that time, right?
The bifocals. He invented the bifocals in 1953. That's exactly when Ben Franklin.
I knew it.
Yeah, he's a genius.
You know what? Real quickly, I would say, I brought this up in the I want to keep kind of linking everything.
There's no time limit. Right? I mean, this is just the internet.
I have.
Do you have another guest coming?
Yeah.
Okay. Andrew.
Handren CV.
Handren. Oh, yeah.
The
main guy. Yeah.
He's I was telling him that the Constitution, it actually got burned in 2016, because that's when Donald Trump was elected, and that's when America actually ended. That's what I meant by it's a proxy country right now until we kind of reformulate into something else.
Really? That's interesting. A lot of people would say is when we went off the gold standard, Nixon took us off the gold, which is unconstitutional. We're not actually supposed to do that. And then a series of other unconstitutional things like having a Federal Reserve. And then that actually, the reason he did that, take us off the gold standard, is because we were running out of money fighting in Vietnam. So he created the Federal Reserve. Then we could just print money.
Who was it? Was it Jefferson? It was Thomas
Edison, yes. Thomas Edison created the Federal Reserve.
I did remember learning this. It was James Madison.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, James Madison. Right. Okay. He single-handedly created the Federal Reserve, which ended up printing all the money which is why we're in the permanent state of war we are in now, because that's how we fund it all. We just have it's like during the coronavirus, during this shit, like they just printed more money. That answered everything. But that's why they can do that, because we took So, as much as Trump is just like, if anything, Trump proved the Constitution works. You know what I mean? Because they could have got Hillary in there.
Yeah.
They really controlled everything. They would have just thrown Hillary in there. For me, I was like, oh shit, this thing still. I was like, holy shit. You know what I mean? That was that. I mean, if you really think about it, Obama was the first Trump, because Hillary was in line. Hillary was in line to take it, and then Obama came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But because of the racial conundrum they put him in, she couldn't criticize him because then she would be a racist. So then she'd have to be like, gotta wait for the next. So all the shit that. If you look at the Hillary versus Obama campaign, the primary, it's one of the dirtiest primaries on record, because Hillary went racist and he went fucking, deep state. Like, she's part of the deep state, and she's which is true, right? And she fucked up black people forever. It was basically very racial. It turned into like Obama's a secret Kenyan, and then Obama being like, Hillary Clinton put all black people in jail in the 90s, which they kind of did, and so that was the fight. So all that birther shit, it's traced back to her campaign. All that shit comes out of her campaign, what they're doing. So he literally was a guy with no experience, came out of nowhere, had a popular coalition, and then fucking beat Hillary. It's literally what happened with Trump. Basically took Obama's playbook and was like, you know what, I'm going to do it on this side, and did it. Except this time they could say he's racist. They could use the race card and use all that shit. They just couldn't before, But they saved all that stuff and used it on him. So it's like, it's really fascinating. It's like, if the Constitution has been basically, I don't know, I think it's been done since we decided to stay in Nam, since Vietnam. I mean, probably really before that. It's like Eisenhower warning everybody about the military-industrial complex. So it's sort of like post-World War II shit. Like, after that, they were like, how do we keep this thing going? And that's where the Cold War came. Yeah. Right? And after the Cold War, now it's like, how do we keep this thing going, right? So now we have terror. Terror for a while, and now it's like pandemic. Now you got pandemic, plus you can have smaller Russia. Russia is a bad guy now. They're putting bounties on everybody, right? Like, so
it's all connected.
It's all connected, and there's just no end to the truth you could be dropping on people, Mitchell. Especially as such an insider, as an airman.
I'm telling you.
You
I learned so much. I have like a Rolodex of just.
He dropped missiles on children. Okay, he dropped Hellfire missiles on Iraqi babies, little babies, and he knew. He saw. He checked. They told him to make sure that they were kids. They were like, do they have hair on their lips? And he was like,
that was actually in training.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All those documents came out.
Kill children.
That was
training.
The WikiLeaks dump, man. It all came out, and that's why they killed Epstein. That's why they were killing everybody, left and right. So I pray for you.
Thank you.
That's what I do. Is I pray for you.
I'm laughing, but it's nervous laughing.
Yes,
thank you.
It is. That should be the name of your podcast. Is nervous laughing. Yeah, nervous laughing with Mitchell Lamar. Right?
Yes.
All right. Sorry, I knew I would take up more time with my ranting. With my rantings. Yes, this is why I have no friends. By the way, this is why I don't. Nobody likes me.
You're fire on Twitter. Can I tell these people that you're fire on Twitter? That you're on Twitter. Can I tell people that?
You can tell them. Yeah, I'm on Twitter. Sure.
All right.
And you like it.
Yes.
Thank you.
I just love what I love about Twitter. At least people who I gravitate towards. I guess it's like people who don't give a fuck what. I think, but that's what I like about comedy. It's like, I could disagree with you, but I still like respect that you're just putting out what you're thinking, even if it's like stupid. But see, if it's funny, it's like, okay, then it's kind of like.
But you recognize how that's dying now.
Yeah,
that's being crushed. Like people are because just the sentiment to laugh at something terrible, knowing that it's terrible, there's not enough nuance now. Now you're just seen as somebody who is terrible. You know what I mean? And that's to me. I think that's part of the communist takeover of this country. I don't know if we want to. We can't get into that now, I guess, but I'm telling you, the commies have infiltrated. They were right. They were right. They were back in the 80s. They were saying the commies are infiltrating all the universities. They're infiltrating Marvel. Black Lives Matter is infiltrated by the commies. The communists have stated in Black Lives Matter that they want to destroy the nuclear family. That's part of. If you look up Black Lives Matter, the organization, and look up they have like 10. The second one is to destroy the patriarchy, including the traditional nuclear family, because that's part of white supremacy. Which, if you think about it, like how bonkers, you're just saying you don't want any black fathers. That's basically what you're saying. No black fathers. Like that's going to solve. You really think that's going to solve? I mean, the biggest indicator of success of any person, regardless of race, is two-parent household. You know what I mean? That's the biggest across all races. Yeah. Like everything. You know what I mean? Like across economics. You know what I mean? Like, so that's, if you got those two, you got a pretty good leg up. And their stated goal is like, that's white supremacy. They're going to break that down. They break that down, have some kind of weird poly. I don't know what they have no answer to what are you going to replace it with?
Well, I mean, okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, how much time do you have?
I have to bring you back. Well, he comes in like, he's
here? Okay.
Yeah.
He's here. Oh, shit. He's here.
He is here?
Fuck it. No, I'm just kidding.
But, I'll have to bring you back.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk more about the destruction of the black family, which I'm very concerned about. I have a lot to say about it.
For sure.
I come from a broken home myself, so that's why,
Wow. What a lot to unpack here.
Yeah. I'm glad. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming through,
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.